Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Vampire is a children's game published by Ravensburger, and this is like a Halloween, spooky-themed kind of children's game, but they go with cartoons and no gore, and any kid can play this. So I don't want you to think it's going to be too spooky for your kids, because it will not. But what it really is a shooting gallery game. Remember those little shooting galleries where the ducks will go back and forth, or things would, you bing, 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 and you try to shoot it down. That's what this is, except for vampires, and you're throwing garlic. So you'll be moving around this little spot on the board, and you have different points for the vampires that are going back and forth based on what cards are played. So a little bit of hand management that's in it. Very easy to play, very cute, great game to pull out of Halloween. Your kids will like it. You have a really good time with this one. The theme could have been anything. Didn't have to be vampires, garlic vampires. It could have been anything. Could have been a shooting range or whatever. And it would have worked just as well. But it's a neat little thing. And it's very unique. It's not a roll and move for kids or doing something different. You're kind of grasping something new, and I like that quite a bit. The theme works fine. I like playing it around Halloween or other times. It isn't too spooky. Like the cartoons are kind of funny a little bit. And the game really works. And it's unique. It's unique. It's unique. Kids can comprehend things that aren't roll and move or spin and move, and this accomplishes that. Here's Vampire, which is a great, great cover. You see that it's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be throwing garlic at them, hits them off the top of her head, shows a 3D effect. Very good cover here that you would have for the game. And it's written in blood, but it looks like jelly, doesn't it? Vampire? So you open it up, you're going to get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes in more detail. You're going to get some wooden meeples. You can see it's a really great insert in this, right? You have the little garlic piece that will sit in here. And this just comes right out. So you can just use this during the game and set it up, and you have a place for your cards, etc. So here are the cards that you'll have. You can see the different backs. You can see he's kind of throwing the garlic at them, which is super, super cute. You have the little garlic pieces where you're going to be throwing. Isn't that really neat? Then you have the movement cards, which are very easy to understand. And then those will sit right in there. You're going to have a number of these coffins that will be here. These will be different victory points, and they're kind of played cute. And then you're going to have the vampires themselves. And it has an easy thing here to reach out. And you can see they're kind of played for laughs. So these are not scary vampires whatsoever. And then you're going to have the board itself, which everything will kind of sit in this as you're going. Very nice little piece of plastic. It's from 2003, 2004. And this is held up very well over repeated plays with my children. So the components are very good. I think they're striking on the table. Nice job. So here's the rule book. It's printed in black and white. It has numerous languages, which makes this bad boy very, very thick. And what you'll do is you go through to find your language, and you'll see a table of contents. Everything's going to be in black and white. Here's a picture of setup, which is fairly nice. I just wish it was in black and white. And then you have a couple of pages here of the instructions. I found that to be organized a little oddly, the way it's organized. I wish it would have went in order and not just kind of put the possible actions in here. But I think it works for what you're trying to do. And the game ends, and it starts in another language. I think you probably need about 5 to 10 minutes to read this. Once you kind of teach your kids how to play, they should be able to play on their own and have a great time. So the way the game is set up, you're going to put this little cardboard backdrop here in it, and that's just for looks. And then you're going to set up all the coffins and the vampires up here like a shooting gallery. You're going to put all these people down here, the slayers down here on the starting spot. You're going to shuffle up the decks of cards. Everybody will receive 3 of these garlic cards. You can't look at those, and those will be placed face down. So this is the draw stack right here. And this is my own personal stack, just trying to put everything in. And then you have a couple zombies that won't be used quite yet. And you'll just set these off to the side. And we'll just put them right in here for safekeeping. On your turn, you can do one of 3 things. And what you're trying to do is score the most victory points. You can see here, each of the vampires have victory points listed on them. And you're trying to score the most. The game will end when the count is hit. And then everybody will tally up their points and see who has the most. And that will be the winner. So the first possible action is you can move your Vampire Slayer. So if you're this Vampire Slayer, you can move 1, 2, or 3 spaces, diagonal, up, down, left, and right, however that you want to go. The only caveat is you can move anywhere here. You just can't go into these 3 bush spots. These are uninhabitable, so if you're moving over here, you can't move over there. It just makes you be further back on this row a little bit You can't go all the way up to the top as you can across here. So you move 1, 2, or 3, and then you're going to move the vampires. You're going to do this for all 3 of the possible actions. So what you're going to do is you can move 2 vampires on the 3rd row. So you look here, you choose who you want to move. You can move 2 of those. And then on the 2nd row, I can move 1 of these. I can choose. I can't choose this person because they'd be occupying the same space, which is not allowed. So I would just move that person over and put that in a discard pile, and my action would be over. Second possible action is I can just take 3 cards off the top of the deck here without looking at them and put them on top of my deck. Then I'm good. And then I would turn over a vampire movement and I would move these. So 1, 2, 3. I can move 1 of these people in the 3rd row. And I can move 1 of these people on the bottom row and move them over. So what I'm doing is I'm just help positioning them, but it's a little bit random how they're being positioned. So the third possible move is to throw the garlic. So let's say I'm purple and I want to throw the garlic. I put my little garlic here, and then I would move the vampire first. Oh, this one's empty, so nobody would move. Great. And then I would take my stack, and I can do 0 to 6 cards. I choose, kind of press my luck. Let's say I want to use 4 of my cards, and I would turn these over, and this would tell me that the garlic would move 1 space. Then I would take a look at the next one. It's a bat. So the bat's going to make me and the garlic move back a spot. And then the garlic will move an additional 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And then he move another 3. So 1, 2. And I hit this guy. So he would come off. And I would score this victory point here. Then I would take the next person. And I would put him in the first column, which would be right here. And he would have an available slot for him. And now there's another zombie on, or a vampire on the board. These cards will be discarded. Even if I use too many cards, let's say I would have hit him and I didn't need to spend a card, I would still, if I chose to showcase it, then it would all come out and those would be discarded out. So that's kind of how that works. Once the count is hit, the game will end. Whoever has the most victory points is your winner. Kudos to Ravensburger. This is what, if your kid likes spooky things at all, vampires, or want a Halloween game, this is one to check out. Absolute keeper for us.